Sharma, your SAP Learning Coach. I have experience of 14 years in FMCG and AFS industry, worked with companies, Infosys, Artsana India, and client PepsiCo India Holding. Currently as Senior Functional Consultant with top company, Infosys. Let's start. This channel created to share SAP knowledge. If you like, do subscribe and share. Let's start SAP Learning Journey. Topic 6. Learn IDOC status, segments, and detailed comparison between inbound versus outbound IDOC. IDOC, intermediate document, in SAP is a standard data structure used for electronic data interchange, EDI, between SAP systems or with external systems. Here's a breakdown of IDOC statuses and segments. 1. IDOC status. IDOC statuses indicate the processing stage of an IDOC. Each IDOC goes through various statuses during its lifecycle. These statuses are stored in the IDOC table. Key IDOC status codes for both outbound and inbound IDOC or outbound IDOC status codes are as follows. Status code 01 IDOC generated. Status code 02 error passing data to port. Status code 03 data passed to port OK. Status code 12 dispatch OK. Status code 30 IDOC ready for dispatch. Daily service layer. Status code 68 error in dispatch. Inbound IDOC status codes are as follows. Status code 50 IDOC added. Status code 51 application document not posted. Error in inbound. Status code 53 application document posted. Status code 64 IDOC ready to be processed, scheduled. Status code 70 IDOC was reprocessed for the both inbound and outbound IDOC. Checking IDOC status. Use transaction We02 or We05 to view IDOCs and their statuses. Status information is stored in the IDOC table. You can query it using SI16 analysis for statuses like 51, error in inbound processing. Check the status message for details. 2. IDOC segments. IDOC segments are the building blocks of an IDOC and contain the actual data being transmitted. Segment structures are defined in the We31 transaction and are used in the IDOC types. Key concepts: parent-child relationship. Segments can have nested, hierarchical structures, mandatory versus optional segments. Defined in the segment attributes. Versioning. Segments can have different versions depending on the IDOC type. Reviewing segments. Use transaction We02, We05, or We19 to view IDOC content, including segments. Query segments from edit or EDID4 table. Segment fields. Segments consist of fields that store data. For example, E1 MARAM, segment for material master data. E1 KNA1M, segment for customer master data. 3. IDOC structure. An IDOC consists of three main parts: a control record, edit general information about the IDOC, example, sender, receiver, type, .b data records, edit or EDID4 segment data containing the payload.c. Status records. IDOC tracks the processing status of the IDOC. For monitoring and processing IDOCs. Monitoring. WE02/We05. Monitor IDOCs based on criteria like type, status, or date. BD87. Reprocess IDOCs. We09. Search IDOCs by segment values. We10. Search for IDOCs with errors. Processing. Reprocess failed IDOCs. Use BD87 or programmatically reprocess using a BAP call function. IDOC_inbound_process exporting IDOC_control equals debugging. Use We19 to test IDOCs. Conclusion. IDOC status helps track processing stages and errors. Segments contain the actual business data in a hierarchical structure. Use SAP standard tools like We02, We05, BD87, and tables. Edit for IDOCs for detailed monitoring, debugging, and analysis. IDOC inbound versus IDOC outbound. IDOC inbound and IDOC outbound refer to the direction of data exchange using IDOCs in SAP systems. Here's a detailed comparison. IDOC inbound. Data is received into the SAP system from external systems or other SAP systems. External system. SAP external systems, middleware, or another SAP system initiates the IDOC. IDOC outbound data is sent out from the SAP system to external systems or other SAP systems. SAP external system. SAP system triggers the creation of the IDOC. Process flow. Inbound IDOC flow. The external system sends the IDOC to the SAP system via middleware or direct connection. The SAP system processes the IDOC using the specified function module or workflow. The data is posted to the target application. Example, sales orders, material documents, errors, if any, are logged with a status code. Outbound IDOC flow. SAP application generates an IDOC in response to a trigger. Example, saving a sales order or scheduling a report. The IDOC is sent to middleware or directly to the receiving system. The receiving system processes the IDOC data. The status is updated to indicate success or failure. Key tables. IDOC inbound, control record, edit, stores control details of inbound IDOCs, status records, EDITs, tracks inbound processing status. IDOCs, status records, EDITs, tracks inbound processing status. IDOC outbound IDOC, stores control details of outbound IDOCs, .EDITs, tracks outbound processing status. For both, data records, edit or EDID4. IDOC status codes, IDOC inbound status codes, successful, 50, IDOC added, 53, application document posted, error, 51, application document not posted, intermediate, 64, ready for processing, IDOC outbound status codes, successful, 03, data passed to port OK, 12, dispatch OK, error, 02, error passing data to port, 68, error in dispatch, intermediate, 30, ready for dispatch. Transaction codes, inbound and outbound to monitor IDOCs, We02, We05 reprocess IDOCs, BD87 test IDOCs, We19 partner profile setup, We20 port setup, We21 trigger mechanism for inbound IDOCs middleware. Middleware sends the IDOC to the SAP system business process. External process triggers the IDOC programmatic trigger. IDOC underscore inbound underscore process function module, trigger mechanism outbound IDOCs, middleware. SAP sends the IDOC to middleware or external system business process. SAP process, example. Saving a document, triggers the IDOC programmatic trigger, master underscore IDOC underscore distribute function module, key function modules, inbound IDOCs, IDOC processing, IDOC underscore inbound underscore PROZSS post document, custom function modules based on process, example. Sales order creation, outbound IDOCs, IDOC processing, master underscore IDOC underscore DSTRIBUT post document, application specific modules. Use cases inbound IDOC, use case, sales orders. Receive orders from customers, use case, materials management. Update stock data from external systems, use case, finance. Import vendor invoices, outbound IDOC, use case, sales orders. Send orders to external systems, use case, materials management. Share stock data with external systems, use case. Finance. Export financial data to external systems. Key differences in handling inbound complexity. Involves validation and posting logic error handling. Status 51 for failed postings. Application logs outbound complexity. Involves formatting and data extraction logic error handling. Status 02 or 68. Middleware retry logic. Example comparison inbound IDOC. Creating a sales order 1. IDOC type, orders 052. Trigger, external system sends sales order data point 3. SAP posts the order via a function module, outbound IDOC, sending delivery information 1. IDOC type, delivery 052. Trigger, delivery document creation in SAP point 3. SAP sends the data to an external warehouse system. Conclusion for topic 6. Learning inbound IDOCs focus on importing data into SAP and validating it. Whereas outbound IDOCs focus on exporting SAP data to external systems. Understanding the lifecycle and specific status codes for each direction helps streamline error handling and ensure smooth data exchange. Thanks for learning with your SAP coach, Rajiv Sharma. If you like, do subscribe, like and share.